Why are Pokemon Nuzlocke runs so much fun? We always watch different kinds of Nuzlocke runs, which are always different, are full of wins and full of fails. Some have some kind of extra rule, like every Pokemon is randomized, even their typing, or you can catch only grass Pokemon. But in the end, those are just the same games. So why do we love these runs so much? This is the question I want to answer today, in my 3-part series Why are Pokemon Nuzlocke runs so much fun? So, let's go! So, the first question for today will be, what is fun? According to the neurobiology, a drug called dopamine tries to keep the human alive by rewarding him when he does life-saving action like eating, working or just learning. And learning is by video games the key word, because in every video game there are certain rules, repeating action which the player will understand when he plays through the game. For example, games like Dark Souls are nothing more than try to learn the pattern of the boss to finally beat him. But at some point you reach a point where you have mastered the game, which means you get less and less dopamine and the motivation of playing this game sinks, like the Titanic. For example, games like Tic-Tac-Toe are so simple after you played them for a long time that they always end with a draw. The same happens with the normal Pokemon games, because you know after playing it for the 10th time that the game's first gym leader has Rock-type Pokemon, the second has Water-type and the third has Electro Pokemon. And you know how to counter each one of them, because you have unlimited time and researches to catch for Brock and Mankey, for Misty a Pikachu or a Paris, and for I survived the Pokemon War, a Diglett or even a Dugtrio. And even if you lose a Pokemon or even white out, you can try it once again and beat him next time, or even the third time or the fourth time. It doesn't matter. In the end, it only matters if you beat him once. But what if you don't have these kinds of researches or time? What if you can only catch one Pokemon and when it dies, you can't use it anymore? Well, if this happens, it gives the game a higher difficult range. Because now the game decides on 4 different factors, which were made in 1957 by the French psychiatrist Roger Calliope, and those 4 different factors were coincidence, strategy, rush and competition. So let's start with coincidence. In any Pokemon game, you usually find 1 up to 5 Pokemon, which all have different chances of emerging. In a normal Pokemon playthrough, you just wait until you get the ultimate Pokemon. But in a Nuzlocke, where you only have 1 chance, you could catch instead of a Mankey a Rattata, because the Rattata has a higher chance of appearing than the Mankey, which means you have a Rattata in the fight against Brock. But this isn't the end where coincidence plays a role. A battle can be decided if you get a critical hit or get beaten down by a critical hit. It also determines if you catch a Pokemon with a Pokeball or not. And if you're really desperate, it can determine if you can even find a shiny Pokemon, which you can use in a Pokemon Nuzlocke run. The next point is strategy, which not only means understanding what type of Pokemon is what type and what they are weak against. You also need to know where Pokemon show up and where you can catch even more Pokemon, and what the gym leader will use for the main Pokemons. You can even make this harder by randomizing the Pokemon and their typing, by making everything randomized and harder to predict, which makes you think on the moment and for the future fights, like will this trainer use a legendary or a Magby? What types of moves could this Magby be having when it's only level 5? Does this Dragon Pokemon have Dragon Rage? But besides knowing what kind of Pokemon your opponent use, you need to know what different types of nature, items and ability will help you in a battle. Some Nuzlocke don't even use items in battle. They only use holdable items, which makes the battling even harder to do, but they rely more on strategy. As you can see, strategy is one key of winning in a Nuzlocke. Competition is another key. Some good old-fashioned competition helps us become better, to become better humans and so on. We have heard this many times over, but it also helps us to show our friends that we can Nuzlocke Pokemon Emerald Kaizo with only a Magikarp, without items and over-leveling. And by winning this challenge, we get his girlfriend. Okay, maybe not his girlfriend, but the recognition of a friend that we are better than him. But even though a Nuzlocke run can be seen as a competition in itself. We can make even more rules, like using no items or no overleveling, which turns it into a hardcore Nuzlocke run. Or we can only use grass Pokemon or Pokemon which look like a rat, or even make a race of who can beat the game faster with Nuzlocke rules, or who can find a shiny first. Through competition, you become closer to your homies and get more memories of playing this game you've grown to love. But last but not least is the simple but effective rush of the game. Picture this. After beating all the gym leaders' Pokemon, you only got one Pokemon with only 40 HP and 5 moves. And you fight against the gym leader's Gyarados, while you have a Charizard. Some people will say this is impossible, and sure, it could be impossible if you didn't teach this Charizard Thunder Punch. But now, here's the question. Are you faster or are you slower? You begin to sweat, you don't know what to do. You can't heal, you can't switch. This is the moment that will decide this run. Even after just telling you the situation, you all know what kind of pressure the trainer is under. You want him to win. You want him to move on. You want him to see if he make a good enough team for the Elite Four and finally win in the end. And when it turns out that he was faster and one-hit KOs his opponent and wins, you and the trainer feel the rush of victory, only then to lose to a Rattata, where you start to begin the rush of disappointment. So anyways, this was the first part of why we love Pokemon Nuzlocke games. And yes, you heard right, this is the first part. Next time we will find out why we feel emotion in a Nuzlocke run. And in the third video we will talk about what takes away the motivation in a Nuzlocke run and how to regain it. But anyways, this was Notebook, and I'm sorry that my voice wasn't as strong as it usually is, but I am a bit sick. But anyways, it was great talking to you again, and I wish you all a bloody good day. And I believe in you, so start believing in yourself. Goodbye.